So good afternoon, everybody. I want to welcome all those people who are listening to me. I'm so happy to know that you are listening or watching this video. My name is Leti Martinez. I am a life coach. And the reason I decided to become a life coach is because I saw the need in people for guidance, uh, in order to reach their goals, their dreams. And in the past, I didn't have anybody who can guide me, or if there was someone, they charge so much money for, to help you, to guide you. So, seeing the need, I decided to become a life coach in order to help people to discover their potential, to discover that they have the ability to achieve their goals and they can become the better version of themselves. So that's when I decided to life coach and also to impact the society, with the gifts that I have received. So again, welcome. Today I bring a workshop that it's called Overcoming Anxiety. Anxiety, especially in this moment, in this time that we are living, we have faced anxiety in many ways, especially with the pandemic. We never expect to live something like this. That first of all, we have to go home and stay inside, not to talk with our friends, even our relatives, parents, etc. And that was something really kind of scary. And that, of course, can cause anxiety. So, again, welcome and let's start. What is anxiety? The American Psychological Association, APA, defines anxiety as an emotion characterized by feelings of tension, fear, and uneasiness. And I can tell one thing, anxiety on one side is good because it helps us to improve, it helps us to prepare for example, for an interview. If somebody's going to get married, they feel the anxiety, but that kind of anxiety of emotion of something nice is coming. But also there's anxiety of fear. For example, when somebody gets sick unexpectedly, it comes an anxiety and it says, oh, what's going to happen? I think things are going to continue to be wrong. And those things come, but they are normal because they can come and we can deal with them. And then that anxiety can go away. However, there is another kind of anxiety. There are different types that we are going to see in a minute. But other anxiety that is more chronic, in that case, we need special help. A psychologist, probably sometimes a psychiatrist. It depends, but that needs to be evaluated by a professional. So I have listed 5 types of anxiety. The generalized anxiety, which is the one that has disorders and have recurring fears or worries. That's the one that most of us faces on our daily lives, which is not really bad as long as we do what we have to do, that can go away. However, we have the number 2, which is the panic disorders. This panic disorder involves sudden, intense, and unprovoked feelings of terror and dread. This panic disorder is when a person is, for example, if she needs to go inside in a room and the room is dark, and suddenly start feeling like a panic attack, or he feels terror of the dark. That's a panic disorder. The third one, we have phobias disorder or intense fears about certain objects or situations. The phobias, it can be to animals. For example, one phobia that I had in the past was the centipedes. Oh my goodness, even nobody can mention a centipede because my hands started sweating and I even feel the animals, crawling my feet. So I had a phobia, but thanks to the Almighty, that phobia went away. And also I have faces another kind of phobias, but I've been working with them and I'm fine. I can say sometimes I feel fear, but I don't have phobias. The fourth one is obsessive compulsive disorder, which is characterized by persistent, uncontrollable, and unwanted feelings or thoughts. This is obsessions. This obsessive compulsive disorder, there are people who experience this, and I have met people who they need to constantly washing their hands. Not now because the pandemic, but even in the past, they even anything they touch, immediately they went and washed their hands. Or people who need to be like washing even the fork or cleaning when they are eating, cleaning and cleaning. People even who have a compulsive disorder about cleaning their houses, people whose everything needs to be perfect, they can see powder because that causes anxiety in them, but that's a compulsive disorder. And the fifth one is when a person had experienced physical or emotional trauma. That can be like in an accident, in a disaster, accident, or crime. These people also face anxiety, which is called the PTSD, post-traumatic stress. So these are the types of anxiety. And as I said, the first one is the one that most people faces on our daily basis, but the other four sometimes they need special help. What causes anxiety? It can be places. And why places? Because experience in the past. Sometimes we don't understand why feel in certain way when we are in a certain place. And even we don't remember, but maybe in the past we had bad experiences that our unconscious mind remembers, and we start feeling anxiety and we don't understand why. People, people can cause us anxiety. If there was a bad experience with certain kind of person in the past, women or man, and for some reason you find people that they have similar behavior or even features, that causes you anxiety because that makes you remember that person and the bad experience you had with her or with him. The third one is situations. And these situations sometimes are the ones that cause the most anxiety in us. Family. When we have problems in family, or the stress level, according with the statistics and psychologists, it's like almost 100%, especially if there's a process in divorce, separation, the loss of a family member, that causes the high levels of stress in ourselves. That means we get a lot of anxiety. Also work. Why work? Because the work is the one who provided us for money to buy food, to pay our house, to buy, to dress, etc. And also, if somebody loses their work, that's something that causes anxiety too, because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know when the person is going to find a job. Many thoughts come into the mind, and that causes anxiety. Another thing is relationships. What kind of relationships we have? If we have healthy relationships, that's not going to cause you anxiety. But if we have toxic relationship, it causes a lot of anxiety. And let me tell you, when we have those kind of relations for a long time, that impacts not just our mental health, emotional health, but also our physical health. And the other, illness. As we can see this year, the pandemic, the virus, the COVID-19 virus impacted us in a really great way because people got sick. Some of them recovered, some of them unfortunately no, they pass away. And though that illness, that virus just let us to feel the anxiety, uncertainty, fear. We don't know what's going to happen next. We don't know if that virus is going to go away. But now we can feel more peace because we know that we have a vaccine that is kind of protect us. However, it's not a warranty. We still need to follow the rules of the health company so we can be protected. And the other one, it can be darkness, height, isolation. Darkness also causes anxiety. The height, there are people who are scared, and this darkness and height and isolation follows or is under the category of phobias. Some people are scared of heights. Some people are just isolated by themselves when they feel anxiety. And isolation is not healthy because what isolation makes, instead of helping us to defeat anxiety, it makes us to feel sick, depressed, and we lose hope. So those are causes of anxiety. Symptoms. What are those symptoms that people feel when they have anxiety? It can be headaches, muscle pain, shortness of breath. Some people, even when we are going to have for example, a test, and we are preparing for the test, our hands are sweaty, and we're shortness of breath, like we feel that we need air. Some people have headaches. Even some people cry. Some people cry because they feel the fear, the concern, and many thoughts come into the mind, and we don't know how to handle, and we just cry. Other people have insomnia. That's something really bad too because we can't sleep at night. The night was made for us to rest. However, when we have anxiety, it's really hard to sleep because all the situation comes into our mind, many kind of negative thoughts, and we can't sleep. The other, irritability. When we are irritable, that's not good because many people stay away from us, right? Because we get mad easily, or we scream, or we are rude with people sometimes when we feel irritable. Dizziness. I have experienced that in the past. There was a time in my life where I have a lot of anxiety because I have problems in family, and I experienced headaches and dizziness, and it feels like even nausea. It feels like I went to the doctor and I say I have felt this way for about 2 weeks, and I'm not sure what it is, and I don't want, when we feel that way, we think in many negative things. So the doctor told me your level of stress is too high. So that means he told me you have anxiety, a lot of anxiety. You need to relax. You need to find a way to solve your problem so you can be fine. And the other problem is gastrointestinal disorders. Sometimes we don't understand why our stomach is florid, why our stomach doesn't digest well, and it's because we have anxiety. Stress causes anxiety. So, how can we help ourselves to be better, not to have high levels of stress and to reduce anxiety? How? Face anxiety. We need to face anxiety. Sometimes we don't know how. As I said, in my own experience, I have experienced a lot of anxiety in the past. And before I didn't know how to defeat it, honestly. I couldn't sleep. And there was a time that I had to take pills to be able to sleep. But I said, that's not right. What just a pill is calming just my mind for a few hours, but the problem is there. So what I have learned is the following. Number one, be aware of your feelings and thoughts. It's really important that you are aware, what do you feel? Sometimes, even when we don't know how to express our feelings, we don't know how to name the feelings that we are experiencing. And that was one of my, I am that person that I didn't know how to express their feelings. I didn't know how to name it. When people ask me in the past, how do you feel? What are you mad? My answer was, I don't know. I don't know. Even I knew when I was mad, I always said, I don't know. So now that I know how to name all my feelings, I can say, okay, I'm feeling this. How am I gonna face this feeling? But for that, you need to be aware. What are you feeling? Also, your thoughts. What are you thinking? If you're thinking, I don't know, let's say an example for the pandemic now. Oh, I think the pandemic is not going to ever end. That's a negative thought that is coming to your mind. And that's not true. That's a perception that you're having. That's a thought that you have, but that's not the reality. Oh, I'm not going to be able to pass the test. That's all, again, a thought. That's not the reality. Well, of course, for a test or for an interview, even for to present a workshop, you need to prepare yourself. But if we don't prepare for things that we have to prepare, of course, we are gonna feel anxiety and we are gonna have bad thoughts because we know that we didn't prepare. So one thing is to recognize our feelings, to recognize our thoughts, but also to know why are we feeling them, and name them, name your thoughts, name your feelings, because in that way you're going to be able to identify exactly what you're feeling and what you are thinking. Number two, recognize what is causing you anxiety. What is causing anxiety? It's something that is in your mind, imaginary, or it's something that is real. It can be a problem in your family. It can be a problem at work, a problem in a relationship. What is that? What is that is causing me anxiety? And sometimes, as I say, I am a life coach and I have worked with people who have faced anxiety in the past. And I ask them, just think about that. And some people say, I don't remember. I'm not sure. So sometimes we need to revisit the past and see what is causing the anxiety. So if you don't recognize what is causing the anxiety now, you need to go to the past and revisit your past and go and see where that anxiety is coming from. And to visit the past sometimes is scary. I know that. It's hard. I know that. Because sometimes it's to face the real past of your life. And sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's traumatic. But in order for us to defeat that anxiety, we need to do that. Of course, always with the help of a professional or person who have the experience to help you. Number three, accept. Sometimes people say, oh, this is not happening. I'm going to pretend that it's not happening. No, it's just a dream. This is not true. This is not real. And no, don't deny it. Accept. Accept the situation, accept the problem, accept them. Because when you accept things, you are becoming aware that it's happening and that it's real. You're not lying your brain. You're telling your brain the truth, right? So it's important to accept the situation, not deny what is happening in your life, not deny what is causing anxiety, and then make decisions. Make decisions. Make the decisions that are gonna help you to release that anxiety. Sometimes we need to make really hard decisions, but we need to make them because of our own health. But if you're not sure how to make those decisions, you know what to do, look for help. Look for help for somebody who helps you. And then number 6 is change your negative thoughts. I have discovered that our mind is powerful. And if our mind is powerful and is able to send us negative thoughts, as powerful is our mind to send us positive thoughts. But that's not going to depend on our brain. Excuse me, it's going to depend on us. When a negative thing is coming in our mind, and that happens especially with people who suffer insomnia. At night, we can be on the bed and we can be just with the eyes open at 3 a.m., 2 a.m., and many thoughts are coming and things are not gonna be fine and I'm not gonna be happy, nobody loves me. Instead of thinking those, we need to change them. Somebody's gonna love me. Even somebody loves you. Even you feel that nobody loves you, somebody loves you, but you don't know. So you start changing those negative thoughts and even talk to your mind. This is something crazy that I have learned, but I talk to my mind. Sometimes when I can't sleep or those negative thoughts come into my mind, no, I talk to my mind. And I'm going to give you a very real example. For example, this is my second time I'm doing a workshop in English. And I was really scared because English is not my first language, it's my second language. And I'm so proud to have my accent. And negative thoughts came to my mind. Nobody's gonna believe you, who's gonna hear you, nobody is gonna hear to you. Your English is not right. There are many people who are making those workshops in their language. But I say, doesn't matter. I believe in myself and I know I need to improve, of course, but I'm going to improve and I'm able to do it. If I'm able to do it, I have been able to accomplish many other things. I can handle this. I can defeat this fear too. So it was just a matter of changing my mind, changing my thoughts. So that's the difference between accepting all negative thoughts and changing them to positive thoughts. These are 6 steps that I really recommend you to practice them to defeat your anxiety, to face your anxiety, and you're gonna be able that it's gonna work. I guarantee you. The other technique that I recommend, or the other thought, it's people sometimes we like to live in the past. We are remembering the past, what people did me, people didn't treat me, people hate me, people like me, and we live with a lot of bitterness, resentment, and anger because we are living in the past. And even we haven't forgiven people in the past or events or experiences. And that's, what? That's like carrying a big backpack with a lot of stones that sometimes even we are walking with our back bent because it's too heavy. Why are we going to live in the past? Sometimes we just need to accept the past, accept what the experiences we have to live. And you can't tell me, oh, you tell that because you haven't lived what I live. Oh, there's going to be a time where I can tell you my real story, and that's why I understand you. I understand you that the things that we live in the past shouldn't determine who we want to be, and that past shouldn't be cause us anxiety. They don't let us to live the way we want to live. So we need to accept the past. If we need to cry, cry and forgive it. And live the present. The present today is a gift. The fact that you are alive today is a gift. So live today, smile, play, forgive, love, and just live today. That doesn't mean that you don't need to think about the future. Of course, we need to plan the future, but not with anxiety. I always say, the future, I don't know what is expecting, but I'm sure it's going to be wonderful. And I don't know, but I don't want to get anxious about tomorrow, about next week, next month. And just put it in the Almighty's mercy. And I know it's going to be fine. As long as I do what I have to do, it's going to be okay. The second technique to reduce anxiety is breathing. Practice breathing. Inhale and exhale. When you feel that anxiety, even for a test, or when you're gonna have your first day, you're gonna get married, or you're gonna need to talk about something that is really important in the family that can cause argument, practice breathing. And you're gonna experience how your brain is gonna calm down. And the famous fight or flight is gonna. So importance to practice breathing. And also another tools that I'm going to provide you for you to reduce anxiety. One, rest, sleep well. Sometimes we don't want to experience emotional pain or mental pain, and we don't rest. We stay awake for until midnight, just watching TV, just watching the cell phone, and that doesn't help us. So rest by sleeping well, taking vacation, just sit down and relax. Eat healthy. It's important to eat healthy. To eat vegetables, of course, have bread, have potatoes, meat, but eat healthy, that your daily menu has a variety of fruits, also grains, because when we eat healthy, it helps our mind, also helps our digestive system and our mind. But if we ate fries, chips, soda, that is going to increment our anxiety because it has a lot of calories, a lot of power. So no, try to eat healthy. The other, exercise. Exercise is really important. I have shared in other workshop, yes, it's for us to lose weight, but more than that, it's for health. I love exercising, and it's not because I want to be like a Barbie. I just want to be healthy. I just want to release all my stress. And also, when you do exercise, it clears your mind, and you can think with clarity. You can see things with clarity. Your body feels well, and in addition to that, you're gonna look beautiful. You know, good thoughts. Write them down, because in that way you're gonna be able to say, "Oh, I'm feeling that. How am I gonna change that feeling to a positive feeling? How am I gonna change this negative thought to a positive one?" Also, talk to people. Look for help. Talk to your friends. Talk. I say we should have a close friend in our lives so we can tell what is really going on in our lives, who can listen to us, who we can share everything, even if we need to cry, that person is able to just to be with us while we cry or while we are saying things that we need to say. It's important to have people around us, especially when there's anxiety. It's not recommendable for people to stay away and to isolate because, as I said at the beginning, when people isolate, instead of helping themselves, they are falling deeper in depression. And depression is really bad because many people see everything starts by starting with stress, and then we don't recognize it, we never accept it, and we start falling into depression. And some people who have fallen in depression, sometimes it's hard for them to come out from there. And some even they commit suicide. So it's very important to talk. It's very important to recognize when we are feeling the symptoms of anxiety, face anxiety. And these are things that can help you to reduce it. And the other thing is plan your day, plan your activities. When we have order in our life, it's not going to cause anxiety because we know what to do, what we should expect, or what others expect from us. And stay away from drugs. When people have said, when I feel stressed or when I feel this way or when I have problems at home, I'm just going to get drugs or marijuana because that's gonna relax me. Of course, it's gonna help you for a few hours or moments. I don't know the effects of drugs, to be honest, but then your brain and your body is gonna feel worse. It's gonna cause you more depression. So stay away from drugs and stay away from caffeine, especially when we are experiencing high levels of anxiety. And do an introspection and observation all the time. What do you feel? What do I think? What do you think? When do you feel it? This is important, especially when you start feeling anxiety. Think again. Very important, and I'm repeating it again because it's very important to recognize your feelings, your thoughts, where they coming from, when are they coming, and also think, are my thoughts real or they are just part of my imagination? When we analyze our thoughts, we can discover that sometimes we love to imagine. And our mind is powerful that everything we think, everything we say, our mind believes it, especially our unconscious mind. If we say something negative, our mind believes it. That's why it's important to change negative to positive. So we start training our mind believing about the good things. But also, I reinstate, if there's anxiety that's more chronic, talk to a special doctor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, whoever works with those kind of anxiety, go with them. But it's something general. These little tips that I provided today is going to help you. And finally, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is a practice that it's in demand today, especially in this time with the pandemic. But this practice, it helps you to be in the present today, not tomorrow, no next day. It helps you to be present today. And how does this work? It's like, let's practice one little exercise. If you have a few minutes, we're gonna have a little practice. It's not gonna take more than 2 minutes. If you feel free, please close your eyes, sit down in a comfortable way, put your back stretch, and just your hands on your laps. So we're going to start inhaling and exhaling 3 times, and I'm going to guide you. This is going to be a mindfulness exercise, and we are just going to focus on 2 parts of our body, which means that's going to help us to be in the present. So close your eyes and inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Focus on the air that is coming in through your lungs, through your nose, and we are going to inhale again. Exhale. Now, start moving the fingers of your hands. Start feeling them slowly. Feel that you have 5 fingers in each hand. They are moving, and you realize that you can move your fingers of your hands. Inhale. Exhale. Now you're going to touch your hands. Touch your hands and feel how your hands can touch each other. And just start feeling the warmth of your hands. You start feeling something warm in your hands. And you realize that you can move your hands and that your hands can touch your skin, your fingers of your hands. Now you feel your hands warm, and inhale. Exhale. Now, when your right hand touch your stomach, you feel your stomach, and just kind of rub your stomach with your right hand, and you start feeling your stomach. Probably it's flat or probably it's floated, but you feel your stomach. Now, with your left hand, touch your stomach. Now, you have your 2 hands on your stomach and you are touching your stomach. You can feel that you have a stomach and you have 2 hands who can touch your body, and you are touching your stomach. And your hands are warm, and your hands are able to give warmth to your stomach. Let's inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Did you realize you are not thinking anything? You're just thinking and living the moment, touching your stomach and feeling your hands. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now you feel relaxed. So this exercise, as you can see, takes a minute, 2 minutes, and you can practice these focuses on your entire body if it's possible. That of course is going to take more time, but you just can practice as we did, focusing on one part of your body, in one music, in one image, in one reading, and that's going to help you to live, to focus on the present, not in the past, not in the future, in the present with a judgment. I thank you so much, and please, if you have any question, you can email me or you can inbox me. Also, you can leave comments on the video if you like. I really appreciate your time and your attention in this workshop. This is not going to be the last one. We're having another one next Tuesday at noon, and the name is going to be Am I in Control? That's the title of the workshop. So if you like it, please, you can visit my Facebook page, Life Coaching You Have an Eagle Soul. I have more information there. And thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day and see you later.